Hey Clashers, it's clan capital time and we are visiting the #1 clan in Germany. I don't know what the Lapo clan is doing in our ranking, but whatever. Right now the #1 clan in Germany for the German community, Sofajäger, is doing amazing and they are sharing a couple of their attacks again with us. So let's try to learn something and how they're attacking those bases. Let's start things off with the Wizard Valley. A lot of people like to attack this district because typically it is quite easy to take it down within 2 attacks on 3 stars. But if you're talking about the best clans out there, well, they're aiming for one-shots, which means they're trying to take those out, like those bases out within 1 attack, which is not that easy, to be honest. So what exactly are the thoughts behind this? Like, what is the approach looking like? So overall, the first thing which people have told me is try not to go for the graveyard spell. Instead, go for healed spells if you're using the Hog Riders. The reason being is that the heal spell most of the time is more efficient when only doing 1 attack. Because the graveyard spell, where the spell is really coming in clutch and really strong, is, that's right, the second attack where you have like up to 6 graveyard spells on the field. This is kind of where the spell is getting really ridiculous strong. The first attack with only 3, it's still good, but not as good as a heal spell, for example, in most of those attacks. Next thing on this one is the small things, like for example just adding 1 skeleton barrel into the mix to take down this cannon core. At the same time, he somehow manages to have quite a few Hog Riders surviving, and now they're unleashing and getting into the back end of this base with having 1 giant distracting this upper giant cannon. And with that being said, he can slowly but surely take down all of those buildings. And the crazy thing about this is, I mean, I would have lost already my Hog Riders by now, or like long time ago. But somehow he manages to keep them alive. And now, take a look at the next thing. It's the small things, okay? It's those small things which can completely break or change the outcome of an attack. And on this one, using the lightning. Okay, so something I have learned is that a lot of people don't know all of the effects of a lightning spell. Lightning spell not only deals damage, that's what everyone should know, but as well it's stunning the defenses. It's only a really short amount of time, but it is enough to cancel animations or to reset the single Inferno Tower. With all of those things in mind, you can really see that this is a big difference. And this difference, even though sometimes having bigger, sometimes a smaller effect, it might be the difference maker in the end to finish a district with 1 or 2 attacks, with having 3 or maybe just 2 Hog Riders in the end left, surviving the entire attack and making sure that you can take down this district. So overall, with this giant bomb now going off, it's only 2 Hog Riders surviving. And just imagine that this lightning would have not came in there and would have not reset the single Inferno Tower. Maybe 1 more Hog Rider would have went down. This could have ended completely different. Next attack is versus the Barbarian Camp. This is a really cool district to attack because, well, overall, it is quite hard typically to take it down. So this means 1 attack is normally not really, like, it's not really an option a lot of times. So instead, it's 2 to 3 attacks. The thing is, like, what does this mean? Well, as we have said earlier, as soon as you're having at least 2 attacks, this means the graveyard spell is really strong again. But something which I have underestimated a lot is how strong a P.E.K.K.A. can be. I would have probably just used a ton of rocket looms and just tried to overcome the base, but instead he's adding 1 single P.E.K.K.A. to the mix, which already took down a lot. With just a little bit of support, this P.E.K.K.A. took down already a rocket artillery, took down plenty of defenses around that, and it's pretty crazy how much health a P.E.K.K.A. has and how good of a supportive troop it can be sometimes. Now, as soon as the opening is gone, like is done, that's where he's adding then the graveyard spells, because he does not want to have those skeletons spawning too early. He wants to have the skeletons getting spawned at the time where he's adding his rocket loops. That's really important because the graveyard spell had plenty of nerfs. It's like one of the strongest spells, which is kind of funny, but overall you have way less skeletons getting spawned overall, which leaves you kinda in a strange situation, because if you play the spell too early, all of those skeletons are just gone with your main push is actually needing them, okay? So you kinda have to delay them a lot of times. On this one, he took down above 50% already, and having his little skeletons already taken down some giants, which is nice as well. And one of the reasons why ground is a lot of times not as efficient, because of the bomb towers, because of the defending giants, and so on. So this means there should be no big surprise what we see in the second attack, because I said it, we have a lot of ground targeting stuff. He's going to use the lightning to take down, I think it was an air bomb on the left side. Now trying to snipe out the air targeting defense on the left side. Take a look at that. All of those cannons are so easy to get picked off. Next thing now, he's going to have his graveyard spells placed. He has a ton of them at the bottom side, which are kind of off-center, but still spawning those skeletons. And then we have those rocket loons coming in for those top defenses to finish off this base, this district, and overall 2 attacks. But I was visiting another clan as well, which had a kind of cool attack on Capital Peak, which I felt like. So I thought I would just dive into that as well. Huge shout out to Jäger, obviously, for letting me in, showing me some cool attacks. But now let's dive into another attack on taking down the Capital Peak. Okay, now we have a really cool attack, or like overall creative attack, because I want to kind of give you a background story while we see a couple of barbarians taking down the first couple of buildings, and as well explain the idea of the attack. First off, the idea of this attack, or the idea of this base, is to pick off archers in archer attacks. So having a couple of those spear throwers added around the area, with having a ton of clan houses protecting those spear throwers, which makes it really annoying for any archer attack to get through that. And a lot of people like to run the archers. So what this attacker thought, okay, let's just go for the mass barbarians, which is a really smart choice, because barbarians, they can survive a lot of those traps and keep going and keep taking down defenses and buildings in general, which is just way, like, it's such a safer option to attack. The next thing as well, and why I'm showing this attack, is because it is thinking out of the box, okay? Like, this attack is really creative in my opinion, because most things I see nowadays is just like Hog Rider and Graveyard spam, which is understandable, it's really strong, but as well I want to promote creative attacking and thinking out of the box with those videos. And as well, I want to promote players who are willing to try that and trying to go for that, while this guy is not in like one of the top clans like in Jäger, for example, but he's trying to think really out of the box, which I really appreciate. So if you have any of those attacks as well, feel free to DM me on Discord, or like tag me on my Discord server, and let me know what type of attacks you have. And that's kind of like what he did, and now we're watching his attack live in this video. So overall, what exactly do we see right now? We see a couple of minions on the outside. I think, to give some feedback, I would always try to use a little bit more of the rams, because that's right now a problem for him. He's not really getting through the walls quick enough for his barbarians to like make good use of that. In fact, that's kind of like a problem for him right now. So having more wall wreckers is always a good thing, especially if having like a maze base like this. So I think this guy brought like 10 wall break, yeah, 10 wall like the rams, which is a lot of times not enough, as we can see here. Otherwise, they're picking or trying to pick off defenses left and right with those rocket loons, which is nice. Triggering already a lot of traps with those barbarians, which is nice. Using the frost spell onto the town hall, which is a really nice move. And now a rage. Okay, that's looking good. Where are those giants running, by the way? Those giants are on a journey. Okay, that's crazy. Taking down the 2 buildings in front of the town hall, which means he's having nicer pathing for the next attack. So let's watch the next attack as well. So again, it's a really customized army. This is what I like so much. Like, this is what I want to promote with those attacks, why I'm showing this attack as well. And a lot of you are always saying I should show a little mistakes as well, because that's how we can learn, right? Like, that's how we can learn. As well, one thing I want to really highlight on this one is the heal spells, okay? If you're overlapping the heals in the clan capital, it is going to stack. Like, they are going to stack and make your life a bit more easier. to somehow have troops tanking damage in like a high damage area. I think that's fair to say around this town hall. Next thing is, those giants are now really messing things up for him, because I mean, obviously he's trying to have like those super wizards around that town hall. He's going to use now hog gliders to keep stunning the main town hall, to have like not the high damage coming in. Otherwise, this is looking pretty good, I would say. Having a lot of giants, like sprinkling a lot of giants in there as well. Was there even the one giant from the beginning? I'm not even sure. And having the cannon cart in there as well. Adding now a couple of troops on the left side. I don't think that's going to be enough. Nope, the wizard tower is going to wreck those little skeletons. Maybe he could have used the Inferno Dragon on the left side to take down the wizard tower. But those again are those small little details which you can then adjust and get better at. But I feel like, yeah, I think using the Inferno Dragon to tank the wizard tower, and using the lightning as well to maybe reset the wizard tower might be a good idea. Either way, let's try to take a look at the next attack just will give some feedback. Now he has a lot of archers using the lightning to take down the Inferno tower. That's nice. Now adding more skeleton barrel on the left side. Skeleton barrel as well, so strong. Just as strategic, a couple of pieces, or like moving pieces in your army. And now adding, yeah, mainly the archers at this point. So it's not as creative anymore with just finishing things with the archers. But it's understandable. I mean, you don't want to risk it at this point, and you do not want to attack and like have more than those 3 attacks. But overall, this is really what I want to promote with those videos. Thinking out of the box, trying things, and do not always opt into the default army, which I think is really cool, and really grateful for this guy to texting me and allowing me to share his attack, even though, and that's the important thing, even though some things have went wrong. As well on this one, placing the Inferno Dragon first and then the Skeleton Barrel is obviously not a good idea. You want to make it the other way around. So this time, like, if you change the order, this means the Super Dragon might have already went down. Now the Super Dragon is trying to like dodge those archers, but nowadays you can see, or at this point you can see that this base is taken care of. So overall, really cool attacks. I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Learned maybe something new, maybe got inspired to try some different armies. And overall, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of the players and clients of supporting this video with like sharing their replays with me. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.